What's up, guys? In this video, I'm gonna go over a specific matchup in the game that I quite like, even in competitive play, and that's Masvidal versus Usman. When I come across an Usman in competitive play, I'm quite happy with that matchup because I feel like I can play to my strengths in this matchup. And I chose this fight specifically because my opponent is very well rounded and he has a very you know complete game, you know what I mean? So I'm not really exploiting one specific thing, but showcasing all of my skill. So one thing Usmans tend to have in common is they like pressuring forward when they're on the feet. So you need to be comfortable to, pick your shots while going backwards. You can see what I'm doing is I'm consistently, staying around the black line, but I'm throwing back. So when it's my opportunity to intercept my opponent, I will do that. As you saw right there, intercepted him with an uppercut while he was going to the body, and got some good damage. Now don't try and overdo it on the feet, because that's what might happen if I come forward too much. That gives him the opportunity to shoot for a takedown. So I just tried for the half guard, realized my opponent has good denial, so now I know, okay, I have to be more patient, you know what I mean? You have 5 rounds, you don't need to overdo it, you don't need to immediately get back up. Try and mitigate the damage, and when you get back up to the feet, that's when you get your points back. So I'm slowly able to regain full guard, get a denial, and happen to get this get up. Now it's back to the feet. Don't feel the need to overdo it and get the points back immediately. You still have half a round, so take your time, pick your shots, because if you exchange with Usman, you give him the opportunity to, capitalize on his power. While Masvidal is a faster guy, the slicker guy, so that's what you're supposed to be looking out for, offensively. Try to be slick, try to intercept, and try to be out of danger. One thing you're going to be noticing throughout the fight is not be discriminating where I'm putting in damage, because against an Usman who I don't want to go forward against, who I want to be technical against, if he's not coming forward, I don't want to force head damage, because that leaves me open, to the takedown. So instead I'm kicking his leg, I'm being I'm going high, I'm going low, I'm making him second guess himself at all times, try and catch him, feint, see his reaction, feint again, then throw, downstairs, feint low, go up. So really mix it up and try and intercept at all times. I could go over each specific sequence and try and explain what exactly happened there, but you're not gonna learn from that, from a video. I think you should get into a game and try out different counters yourself, and spar a friend over and over again. That's where you get a good counter game, and good boxing fundamentals is when you have a guy that knows your stuff and you know his stuff, and you try to counter each other. So in this video I'm trying to really just showcase the mindset you gotta have when facing an Usman with a Masvidal, for example. You know what I mean? Basically a striker against a well-rounded grappler. Really mistimed my feint right there. I was not in the right range to feint, and he was coming forward. So that's on my end. But again, take your time. Slowly get back up to the feet. In this case, I'm able to get a nice reversal and work off of that. Instead of letting up here like I used to, I decide to get a little control time back, rub it in a little, you know what I mean? Give him a taste of his own medicine, and do some damage on the ground before I get up eventually. or he does himself. And yeah, so right here, I'm not really trying to stay here for too long, just for the sake of trying to be a striker. But I'll keep the dominant position for a little. And whoops, I stuck around a little too long. He's able to get the reversal, but still everything's fine. No need to panic, you know what I mean? Still plenty of time to get back up. I'm pretty sure we did some damage on the feet, which was alright. But yeah, right here I just, got a little impatient, which is not something you really want to do. He's able to get the side control off of that. But again, just stay calm, keep focused, try and get back up to the feet eventually. He's able to get a denial here and goes for a submission attempt, not too worried, but at the end of the day you don't want to give a submission guy too many chances at reading your submission patterns. So, while I'm alright, I still don't want this to happen again. Just in case he has some crack at submissions. To get out of this, there's only like 20 seconds left. At this point, I'm not even worried about this transition. I'm just gonna wait for the round to end. So close round. I think I may have gotten that still, because you shouldn't underestimate how much the judges in this game value damage. So even though he got some control time, the damage you do on the feet really matters. So I'm not really worried about losing rounds against grapplers in a 5-round fight especially. See, footwork I feel like is overused in this game, but it is something I feel like I'm really good at. Staying around the black line. I'm gonna get a nice denial right there. He powers through and gets a takedown still. I have no idea how to defend that, but it is what it is. Pretty sure he wasted a good chunk of stamina off of that, so I'm actually fine with that. And I'm not too worried about this side control. I just need to stay patient and I'll get out of this eventually. Again, just mitigate the damage and try and get the points back whenever I stand up. Here he did a little too much on the ground and pound, so I got a nice posture transition myself and was able to get half guard. I realized I'm near the cage, so I go to sprawl. Usually I'm able to deny these backside transitions, but this time I wasn't. But I was able to regain full guard, so I'll stand up eventually. And as I said, here we are back on the feet, throw a nice uppercut, realizing he'll go for something right there. So back to playing footsies on the striking game. One thing you need to realize while playing a well-rounded Usman is you're not free to do whatever you want on the feet. You know what I mean? You're still gonna have to strike as if you were striking a striker. You know what I mean? So in this case, in this matchup specifically, you are the faster guy, so you do have a bit more, freedom in your attack. You don't need to be too, wary of the distance between you two. But Usman's power is still there. He has good cardio on the feet as well. You need to be able to make reads effectively, as I did there. Notice he was, throwing a jab too much, you know what I mean? So I went for a heavy counter, the slip straight lead overhand, which drops him. I jump into his guard, try and jump on top, get some control time. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I stand back up immediately or just take a little more time. In this case, I just try to stay on top. 10 seconds left. I'm not worried about this reversal he might go for. It's just, wait out the round. Another round for me, in my opinion. I'm either up 2-1 or 3-0 at this point. The damage over the control time by a mile. In this case specifically, I'm pretty sure his legs are quite damaged. If you were, looking closely throughout the fight, I was able to get my leg kicks in effectively and efficiently. You know what I mean? You don't overdo leg kicks because that will bite you back as quick as, a nice leg kick will do you favors. So you really need to time them, get their head moving first, and then shoot for the legs with your own kick. So right there, I'm able to defend another takedown. I'm quite happy with the situation. I feel like I'm up on damage. I'm up on stamina probably as well. But again, stick to this. There's no need to, run into something big against the Usman. Give him a chance to, get a good takedown on you, get into a dominant position, make him have to waste stamina for it, like he is right there. You know, these denials come easier now because of his low stamina, probably. So that just, due to the good, effective work early on, he needs to switch stances frequently. Needs to, mix up his mind games. Because of that, his power is low, his takedowns is low, and he's a bit more desperate on the feet. So that's probably why I'm able to get these beautiful counters over and over again right now. You realize he's a bit behind, but there I did too much. There was no need to go for that ground pound, which is something. When I stand up against a guy, that's not because I'm overconfident. It's because I don't want this to happen. I don't want my back taken because of one quick slip, you know what I mean? And now he's going for 5 RNCs in a row. No, I would advise in this situation to just give up top mount. Deny the RNC side, which is the underhook side, over and over again. But I had a good feeling he would go for the top mount soon enough, so I denied it as well there. So, good for me. I'm able to get the stand up right away. But I would suggest just denying their RNC in that situation, which is again the underhook side. You know what I mean? So he can have top mount. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get out of that. But a nice RNC, that's a fight, and no matter how ahead you are in stamina. So now I realize, back to making everything clean. Don't get my back taken again. So that's why you saw me stand up a second ago. Still, even though his head health is low, don't make the mistake of overdoing it to the head, get pull countered, and boom, that's the fight gone. 4 good rounds wasted. Stick to what you did early on, and you'll get a nice finish like this, clean. No chance to give your opponent, a comeback. So if you like this matchup specifically, want more of it, I have some other fights with this matchup I would, be able to showcase. But if you're interested in any other matchups you're struggling in, I'm pretty sure I could help out with that. So just let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.